Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Badminton Weekly. I'm your host Jasmine Lim and today we're going to relive all the thrills and spills from the Duo Malaysia Masters 2023 presented by Daihatsu before we gear up for the Toyota Gazoo Racing Thailand Open. And joining us today, I'm delighted to welcome back Scotland's #1, Kirsty Gilmer.
Hi Jasmine, thanks for having me.
Kirsty, it's great to have you back on the show. Let's dive straight into the Malaysian Masters, where Tina Muralitaran and Pearly Tan made headlines throughout the week. The Malaysian duo, they didn't walk away with the title, but they definitely won hearts, especially those of the home supporters after spending a total of 7 hours and 14 minutes on court. No doubt a tough battle. Their first title of the year still eludes them, but I think it's pretty fair to say that there's still plenty for Tina and Pearly to be proud of from this tournament. What do you make of that, Kirsty?
Yeah, I think this is a tournament they're not going to forget for a long time. I think this is going to stick with them. To spend 7 hours and 14 minutes on the court in a tournament is ridiculous. They left it all out there. And to be 2-12 down in that semi-final and win that set, this is the stuff that dreams are made of. So yeah, they're not going to forget this one in a hurry, despite not winning the title. But I think they brought so much passion, so much energy to the court this week, and it was just really exciting to watch. And I think most of it, or a lot of that, can be put down to the home crowd as well and the home support. Malaysians are known to love their badminton, but it's just, we see it time and time again how home country players just shine when it comes to their home tournament. So that's got to play a massive part in it as well.
I think we can all agree that the Malaysian fans definitely played their part throughout the week. And as a player yourself, Kirsty, just how helpful is it knowing there are few in the crowd, let alone the whole arena, urging you on, cheering you throughout the game? Could you share a little bit more about that as a player?
I think it's such a cliche, but it's just so nice to feel like you're not out there alone. I can say as a singles player, quite often it feels like I'm out there alone, and as a doubles partnership, it's just such a spotlight that's been shone on you. So to have all of the crowd, or the majority of the crowd, just willing the outcome to go your way, I think there's something in that, whether it's just like the energy that gives the player, or just the atmosphere that it provides, just that sheer positivity for you to thrive in. I don't know what the psychology of it is, but we've seen it time and time again that it works.
Staying on the topic of the home crowd, our commentator Bobby Griffin was on site working on the women's doubles semi-final match between the Malaysian duo and Jong Na-eun and Kim Hye-jong. He had witnessed firsthand how the crowd rallied together to cheer the duo on. This must have been an incredible scene to be a part of, so let's hear from Bobby as he recounts that experience.
What a match we've just witnessed. I've just finished commentary on the first 4 matches. The Malaysians getting through in the women's doubles was by far the highlight for me of the week. Possibly the last couple of years. Pearly Tan, Tina Muralitaran, I mean, what a performance. I thought it would go the distance. It still went an hour and a half in 2 sets. I mean, incredible. I'm delighted. I've lost my voice. It was just such a magnificent occasion. For me, the crowd inside the Axiata were getting so loud, it was really hard to hear my own voice and hard to commentate. Match point, it just went wild. I was emotional. The crowd really brought that out in me as well. I think that came across in the commentary. But what a moment. Yeah, I'm still buzzing now.
Thank you so much, Bobby. Focusing now on the final day action. How would you describe Tina and Pearly's playing style this week? And was it eventually not enough to overcome Korea's Baek Hana and Lee So-hee in the finals?
Their game style this week has been just full of energy, despite these massively long, I think possibly record-breaking rallies. They have put 100% energy into every single match, game, point. I think what's been really key for them this week is their patience in that. So they've gone full energy, but they've still had that real clarity to play the shots into good positions. They've been quite happy to sit back and defend a little bit this week, which I know is part and parcel of women's doubles now, but they've been quite happy to just soak it up and then really, really look for those opportunities to take the net, turn it around and get on the attack. And they've done that, almost flawlessly this week. But I don't think the Koreans have spent quite as many as 7 hours on court, but But there's something about stepping on court when you know the crowd's against you, and it's almost kind of takes that little % of pressure off, and it just allows you to play and feel a little bit of freedom, perhaps. Depends what kind of person you are, I suppose. Some people might like to go up toe-to-toe with that energy and really kind of fight back against it. But whichever way the Koreans approached it today, it worked for them, and they managed to just sneak those last few points and then in the end.
일단은 기분은 너무 좋고 일단은 말레이시아 선수들 여기서 홈에서 하니까 좀 저희가 조금 불리할 거라고 생각하긴 했었는데 일단은 그것마저 일단 저희를 응원해 준다고 생각을 했기 때문에 좀 더 힘이 났던 것 같기도 하고 그리고 일단은 우승은 누구나 좋기 때문에 일단은 기분은 너무 좋은 것 같습니다.
Another Korean pair I want to talk about is Korea's Seo Sung-jae and Kan Min-hyuk, who actually broke Malaysians' hearts when they defeated rising stars Man Wei-chong and Kai Woon-tae in the men's doubles final. There were a couple of dicey moments, especially in the latter stages of the match when Seo and Kang got carded, but ultimately the Koreans' experience really shone through to help them walk away with their first title of the year.
Yeah, their experience played a vital part in this final, I'm sure. Just in because the tensions and the emotions were obviously running a little bit high. So just to have that kind of clarity between the players and the coaches, just to know when to take a breath, take some extra time when you need it, to speed the game up when you need it. But yeah, we could see the tensions rising with the cards and everything. So just to have that clarity of thought between them, to take some time to reset and to go again, that'll definitely have been their experience shining through there. The men's doubles game has become so aggressive, but with the Koreans we really see them using all of the court and really being aggressive in the right moments. So it's not just uncontrolled madness, it's really kind of clinical and thoughtful attack when they do get the attack. So I think that was a really impressive final for them, even with their ups and downs of the cards.
오랜만에 또 민혁이랑 하면서 우승하게 됐는데 너무 기분이 좋은 것 같고 또 한국에서 아닌 또 외국에서 저희가 우승을 처음 해보는 것 같은데 그런 느낌이 또 색다른 것 같아서 기분이 좋습니다. 뭐 그런 영향은 없지 않다고 생각하면은 뭐 거짓말인 것 같은데 그래도 뭐 그런 거 생각하지 않고 저희가 할 수 있는 플레이를 그냥 하려고 했던 것 같아요.
Now, over in the men's singles category, India's HS Pranoy finally broke his drought to win his first title in 6 years. He has had a tough route on the way to the final, and would that have made the win extra special for the 30-year-old?
Yes, this must be a great week for Pranoy. He's always kind of knocking on the door of titles for years, and I also know he's gone through some tough times with some injuries and really not being able to get much momentum on the tour. So for him to be able to finally, piece 5 wins together, it's been a long time coming for Pranoy. It's not that Pranoy's even just put 5 wins together back to back. Pranoy's beaten Tian Chen Chao, Nishimoto, Li Shufeng. So, I mean, those are some big names in the badminton world. And to just check them off the lists day after day is really impressive. He must be, thrilled.
Oh, it feels great, to be honest, because as I said, if you had asked me the same question in 2017 that if I would be winning a title in 2023, I would have said no. And the last few years were incredibly tough to be trusting again on myself and coming back to the circuit from dropping down the rankings to 35, 40 and then again climbing back to the top 10s was a hustle. And thanks to all of them out there who has been constantly supporting me, my entire team in Bangalore. I think they have been constantly making sure that I'm healthy, I'm able to play badminton now. So thanks to a lot of them. Yeah.
Moving away from the courts, we celebrated the induction of 2 badminton legends, Datuk Lee Chong-wei and Lin Dan, into the esteemed BWF Hall of Fame. Let's go ahead and relive the glitzy ceremony held at the Kuala Lumpur Convention Centre and hear from them what this prestigious recognition meant to them.
最后呢，我非常的荣幸今天能够和我的对手、我的朋友钟伟一起进入名堂，谢谢。钟伟。
I 2 times in the Olympic. I lost to Linda. Only the semi-final in the 2016 I win the match. I think this is give me the big memory for me for the big competition.
For me, I think this is good for me for my career. We hope I can this encourage and hold badminton players is hardworking and they can get more champion. We can go to Hall of Fame together.
因为我跟钟伟其实我们一起比赛了非常多年，我们从2000年就开始对抗，一直到我们30几岁退役，其实20几年的时间，很少有男子单打能做到这一点。而且我们两个比赛通常都是在最顶级的赛事，我们进入到最后。所以会被更多的媒体跟球迷所印象最深刻。对。
A big congratulations once again to both Datuk Lee Chong-wei and Lin Tan. Let's shift our attention to the Toyota Gazoo Racing Thailand Open. This year, it will take place at the indoor stadium Hua Mak for the first time since 2019. And it's going to commence on the 30th of May all the way to the 4th of June. There are, of course, a couple of key matches to look out for in the opening round, one of which I believe is the showdown between Kento Momota and home hero Kunlavut Vichitsan. We know that Momota hasn't been the same player since his accident back in 2020, and he said that he's not sure if he'll return to his best form, but will continue playing for his fans. Kasi, my question here is, if you were one of his fans, would you be happy to see him playing but not getting the results? And do you think it's going to be difficult for him to challenge Vichitsan here?
Yeah, as a fan, I do still love to watch Momota. He just brings like such a nice energy to the court. It's it's just the nature of sport to maybe not get the wins, but we know that he's capable of it, and he showed that with his little run to the semi-finals in German Open. I think on this occasion I might have to give Vichitsan to be the favourite going into their head-to-head match, simply because his form this year has been pretty good, winning India and his run recently at Sudirman Cup, unbeaten in his ties. Is got to give him a lot of confidence going into this Thailand Open, and again we talk about home crowd advantage. It's got to play a part as well. So I think he'll be feeling pretty big about this week. I'm going to give the slight edge to Vichitsan.
And finally, Carolina Marin is back in action since the Allianz Masters back in April. The Spaniard could meet PV Sindhu in the last 8, and if she wins that, she could also meet An Se-young in the semis. Would you agree that that's going to be a good test to see where she's at right now?
Definitely. I think it's really nice to see Carolina back, mixing it with the top 10 players. And I think she has actually struggled a little bit to come back. And I honestly don't blame her, because I think women's singles is at peak physicality right now. So to try to come back from a pretty devastating injury straight back into that high level, it's tough. And we've seen it with Sindhu too, who's been kind of struggling to get back up to pace of the world-class scene. So I think their quarterfinal could be really interesting if they can both reach that stage. But yeah, it's going to be nice to see her mixing it with the top 10, top 5 again, if she can get to compete against An Se-young.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's show. Thank you so much, Kirsty, for taking the time to join us today, and we hope to have you on the show again real soon.
Thanks for having me, Jasmine.
For all of you joining us at home, don't forget to catch all the action from the Thailand Open this week, starting from the 30th of May all the way to the 4th of June. And if you're on the go, catch the latest news, match updates, and statistics through the BWF app, Badminton for You. And lastly, you guys all know the drill. Don't forget to leave your comments, thoughts, and questions on the BWF Facebook and YouTube page. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you next week.